Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. Well, anyone who's watched my videos on Star Trek Discovery know that I hated it. Past tense, now that the timelines and universe differences have been established, I'm not as bothered by elements of the show now because it's literally a different timeline, different universe. So things don't have to match the original series. None of that actually matters. But it was interesting to see a bit of a reunion at a Star Trek convention recently. They had Sonequa Martin Green, who, you know, in every interview seems to be a wonderful, delightful person. Wilson Cruz, who isn't such a wonderful person. He actually threatened me once. And David, I've forgotten his last name, Michael Burnham's boyfriend on the show. Is it David Ajala? I can't remember his name. I just remember him because he's hot. And someone else, Doug Jones. They were all there for a reunion. And they got into the final episode. And it was interesting. Now, I must admit, there's some petty glee here on my part to hear how difficult it was for them because I did hate the show on some level. And they were cancelled. They were in their fifth season. The fifth season had finished filming and I think finished production, and then the show was cancelled between seasons. And they have been planning to go on 6-7 seasons at least. I think they wanted to get 7 seasons like the original Star Trek, or the Next Generation era Star Trek shows all had 7 seasons. And yeah, they cancelled the show and they went to them and said, can we have a TV movie, two episode TV movie length TV episode to finish it off? And they're like, no. Can we have an episode, an extra episode to finish it off? They're like, no. And they gave them 12 pages, like 10-15 minutes. They said, you can go film a few scenes, which there was a rumor, someone was saying that TV shows like this put aside money for reshoots, and then if they don't need reshoots, then I guess that's just, you know, the production costs less money, so it's more profitable, whatever. But the hint was that they used money that was sort of put aside for reshoots that would have been there anyway, sort of thing, to just squeeze out like a little, like 12-minute ending to end the whole series as opposed to ending just the season. And it was funny back in the day when people were arguing that the show wasn't cancelled, that they filmed an ending and they knew they were filming and it was all planned, and like, no, they were cancelled and they were really lucky they got that 13 minutes, because a lot of shows it's just like, no, sorry, you're gone, boom. The fact they actually gave them, here's some money, just go have like 3 days and just, you know, film something to end off the whole series. That was incredibly generous, incredibly kind, more than they deserved. And yeah, so that was how it went. And understandably, the actors were all pretty upset, and it was kind of weird, I think, because often a show gets cancelled and that's just it. You don't see those people again. So to come back, but just to come back to film, you know, 3 days, like a 12-page, 15-minute segment to go on the end of the episode, would have been quite emotional. And they said they don't know how they got anything done because they were all crying and emotional. But at least they did get to have a little goodbye and say goodbye and all that. So that's nice for them as actors, because it's not their fault with what happened with the series. And like I said, it does bother me less now because they've established certainly it's a different timeline and possibly a different universe, although some people debate that was a joke on the part of Lower Decks. And I'm like, well, either way, it's canon. No matter what they intended, it's canon that Star Trek Discovery is in a different universe. Yeah, so that was interesting, and I do feel bad that part of me really enjoyed the fact it was cancelled, and, you know, because I do feel a little bit bad that I actually did enjoy it as much as I did. I celebrated it as much as I did, because it's a whole production crew losing their jobs, actors losing their jobs and everything like that. But the show really hurt Star Trek and damaged Star Trek, possibly irrevocably. So yeah, but yeah, that was about it though. The rest was just your usual talking about, you know, behind the scenes stuff and all that. So yeah, I guess that's it. I just wanted to comment on that. I just found it interesting to find out how those negotiations went, and you know, the initially they were just trying to pretend like they were doing regular reshoots, and then it was revealed that they were filming a series ending. And the fact that they tried and wanted to get a full 2 hour film length ending and couldn't get it is kind of revealing. Though it's like, no, this money is not making this money. This show is not making money for us. We want it gone and ended. We don't want to spend any more money on it. Okay, here's just that little bit so you can just finish this off, because probably we think it may sell the season and the series, better if it's got an actual ending. So they're probably just thinking of their own profitability, not necessarily caring about what the actors wanted or what the showrunners or anyone wanted. But yep, I'm going to go for you to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of how the series ended, how they handled it, and this little bit of insight into how it actually went with the last sort of days.